Greetings, Mindcrafters, and welcome to another exciting Mindcraft discussion today. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and I am excited beyond belief to have yet another discussion about becoming the boss of your brain, because that is what Mindcrafting is all about. And so today, I was just totally inspired by a new thinker, which I'll tell you about her in a second, but is about conquering the day with a victory list, because so often we make these to-do lists, right? They're like just like this really bad run-on sentence, like your third grade teacher would say, cut that in like 5 pieces, right? Just and you know, loaded with things that just fill up space and do not matter at all. And I remember way back when I was probably in college, and I'm not a huge to-do list person. I've become with the victory list or win list just recently, but back in college, sometimes when I was feeling totally overwhelmed, I would just kind of create a list, and I'd be like, you know, watch the sun come up, watch it go down, check, got that, you know what I mean? Feeling really good about myself, checked a couple of boxes. We want to really filter all those things out, and this is a wonderful, wonderful idea. And I was listening to, here is a name, she's brand spanking new to me as of like today, or today, I don't know. Anyway, Amy Landino, and she's a fellow influencer, and she's got all kinds of pizzazz and everything, and so far I really like her. And the thing is, I've used something similar when I've done conferences, seminars, workshops, whatever you want to call them, because what's very similar to Amy is I had people creating a not to do list, so it's really kind of similar, just worded very differently. She calls it a win list, I'm going to call it a victory list. And when I did conferences, I used to call my list a not to do list, because there's so much crap that we fill up a to do list with that just doesn't belong there. And so here's the thing that I really liked about what Amy was talking about. And I'm actually today gonna kind of shift a little bit, tweak mine into doing this victory list, which is to have. She does 5 things. I'm doing 3 because I think it's more doable. 3 things that are ultra important, essential, and meaningful as far as the bigger picture, the bigger mission, which is living your best life. Which is, I'm all about living your best life. That's what Minecraft is all about, right? Becoming the boss of your brain, taking charge. Realizing that we're the pilots of our own ship, kind of thing. So really, you can do 5. I'm doing 3, but so those are the ultra important. So it doesn't mean we don't have other things to do in the day. There's taking out the garbage and the laundry and pick up the dry cleaning, but that should be on the list. Go ahead and do that, but that's not on the list of absolute essentials. So an example is, because right now I'm working on my 4th book. Actually, I'm really excited. It's been my other one, it's been like 15 years, I don't know. I wrote my books like in the mid 2000s, like 3, 4, 5, 6, somewhere in there, I don't know. I am so moved to write this book right now. So one example might be, because you want to make it doable. To set ourselves up for success is super key here. So do one thing to get my book that much closer to being published is a big deal. Maybe it's making a phone call, making a connection. One thing I actually did this morning was, because with a book proposal, you write descriptions of your chapters. So I had on here, which I've already done, write 2 more descriptions. That we're not looking for perfection. That is such a bad word. I'm talking about throwing up raw information. You can tweak it later. Right now, we want to move forward, because that is the main theme of the victory list, is moving forward. And somebody gave me advice about writing books years ago. I don't even remember who it was, but just don't wait to think you're going to have the whole weekend to write 5 chapters or something. If that happens, great. But in the meantime, set small goals. I will write something today. Even if I'm in the kitchen, mid-dinner, put something on simmer. I just had a great idea, and you write 5 sentences. This is how books get written, or whatever you're working on in your lives, whatever make that fit for you. As long as it's always moving forward, that is the main thing. This to-do list, the victory list, is about the bigger picture of the mission of living your best life and practicing who you want to become. I just did a video on that, I think was released yesterday. We practice so many things, and what we practice, we inevitably get better at. We inevitably get better at. There we go. See, I'm just so excited. And because of my fast mind, sometimes I stutter because my mind is going at like Mach 10 and it's faster than my mouth. So anyway, thank you for your patience. So, so we're keeping it simple and we're filtering out the crap. Even if there's stuff that seems urgent, urgent doesn't go on this list. Only authentic goes on this list. Authentically important, inner voice stuff, passion-driven, high-octane interest, high-octane passion stuff goes on this list. So the adulting still rolls on. We're still taking out the garbage. We're still making the pediatrician appointment, blah, 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 blah. But it's not on this list, okay? It's not on this list. So I've actually got several projects going on, but that's the one that made kind of that was kind of like a good one to use, the book one. Okay, so then let's say another one, which was also on my list actually, which I'm doing at this minute, is to crank out a YouTube. I crank out lots of YouTubes on the weekend, and I post, because you have to keep ahead. Well, you don't have to. It's best practice to keep ahead of yourself a little bit because stuff happens, and you want to keep up with that. Releasing one every day. That consistency, and so I put on my list to crank out a YouTube video today, which is happening at this minute, that's relatable and meaningful to people, that helps people live their best lives. And I think part of my mission in a nutshell actually is to spread positivity as much as possible out there while I'm on this earth. I want this earth to be a better place because I was in it, part of it, on it, whatever. I want this world to be a better place because I was here. Now, even though I'm a tiny grain of sand on the beach of the universe, I want my tiny little grain of sand to make a difference with people. And I, as you know, because of probably partly because of my backstory, I think adversity makes us better human beings, and I've had a lot of that. I think most people, when they've hit a fabulous 58, have certainly had some. And because of all the shaming and stuff in my, addicted household I grew up in, part of that mission with positivity and making a difference also has to do with helping people see their value, because I know what it's like. I really know what it's like to be doing the backstroke and shame when I grew up, and that feeling of feeling defective and flawed and not enough and not worthy of being loved and blah, 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 blah. So now that I come out of that, out on top and in front of all that stuff, I also, as part of my positivity shtick, do videos that really help people to see their own value too. So that's also important to me. So it's important not to be distracted by the urgent stuff. We're going to keep it real. This to-do list is the keep it real list. Okay, it's like the victory list is all about the authentic. It doesn't mean that those things aren't important. We've got to still adult, but they just don't make it to the list. Another thing that's really important, Amy mentioned this. She called it something different. I'm calling it self-love because that's what I call it. I think she said recovery, which is good. I think of recovery, I just, maybe because I grew up with it, I think of 12-step program, but that's a wonderful, and that's also something really good to have on the list, actually. And I liked how she broadened that term to include, because if we've lived to be a fabulous 58, even if you didn't grow up with addiction, even if you didn't grow up with dysfunction, you're probably recovering from something. So she is spot on accurate. Actually, that's just where it took my mind, which is also a good thing, again, to have on your list. The self-recovery or self-love, for me today, because usually I take little Giovanni in the morning for a snowshoe, but I want to do these first because I'm on this track here. So on my list is to go for a 30-minute run or snowshoe. Today it's going to be a snowshoe. We're still in winter. It's still pretty cold. And snowshoeing is a great way to exercise and really love yourself out in nature, because you keeps you're hot. I actually get hot. I actually took him for a very brief one because of his little pause. We went for like 10 minutes because of him, not me. It was like -3 or something. And so he just wanted to get out. Super fast. But had I been by myself and gone longer, you stay nice and heated up, and it's a great way for me to love myself. So I want to say lastly, to kind of keep these nice and short and sweet. So it's important if we're going to lean into a new habit to keep it. You want to set the bar and do your best. You want to make it doable so you succeed. So I think anyone who watches my videos knows that I'm a huge gratitude person. It is the master key to happiness. So my gratitude journal is in the morning. 3 things. I think maybe that's why I'm keeping it 3 and 3. And it's I am grateful for, I am grateful for, I am grateful for. I'm literally done with that before my tea beeps. And when I'm using the microwave, so I have a little teapot too. But I'm done. So now the keep it real list, the victory list, or Amy calls it the win list. The victory list for me and for her, I think, is the night before. For me, it is definitely the night before. So when you wake up, you hit the ground running. These are my 3 things I've got to do today that are feeding my soul and leading me to my next move. Or they are leading me to my next move. They are my next move because they're about my life's mission, whatever it is you have for your authentic purpose in this life, living your best life. That's what this list is for. This is your authentic to-do list. Awesome. Victory list. 3 things tonight that feed your soul. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the beautiful Northern Vermont. Have a mindful day.